Once you spawn in, find the bucket in the spawn room and pick it up. When you open the first two doors to the right, you are going to see this list of challenges highlighted in yellow. You're going to have to do all 3 challenges in order to progress the Easter egg eventually. While opening up the map, you're going to find pools of blue and green water next to facilities. You are going to have to go into the facilities and deposit the water to turn on the power. On the left side of the map, you are going to have the blue water at Lab A, and on the right side of the map, you're going to have the green water at Lab B. Once you have both labs powered up, you can actually go to this little door over here to open up the main facility. You are going to have to fight some zombies that surprise you, and one of these zombies are going to be in a dark orange aura. If you don't kill him fast enough, he will turn into a Thrasher. Now we're going to have to open Pack-a-Punch. Opening the left door will give you the first Pack-a-Punch piece. You are going to find this underwater part. You're going to have to go underwater and open this vent covered in webs. Then you're going to have to do a quick lockdown. Make sure to use the air pocket so that you don't drown in the water. Once you kill the last zombie, the first part will come out of the vent that you just cut open. Before you go place this first part, make sure to turn on the power. Don't forget like I did. Make sure to place your part, and then I will go to the middle door now and show you what to do there. Once you open the first middle door, there is another door right here that you have to open. Then you're going to have to go underwater, and in either the left or the right tunnel, there is going to be a golden wheel that you have to find and collect. It'll be in one of these 2 tunnels. Do not go down to the deep blue part of the tunnel just yet. Make sure to use air pocket so you don't drown. Collect your wheel and move on to the last part. Opening the right door, you are going to see a bunch of zombies wrapped in a cocoon. You have to melee these cocoons, dropping zombies from them, but one of them will also drop the final part that you need. Once you insert the final part into the final valve, congratulations, you now have Pack-a-Punch unlocked. Going back to the challenge area, you're going to see these 4 skulls with different symbols on them. And you're going to match these 4 skulls with 4 different pillars around the map. The first one is going to be in the spawn room. The second one is going to be right next to the spawn room where the plane trap is. The other 2 are going to be in the Pack-a-Punch area. The first one is going to be in the left door, and on the left you're going to see another door. This is going to lead to the docks, and you are going to find one here. The final part can be found where you did the middle piece part, and you are going to come right where I do to find the final symbol. Once you take the proper skull and put it in its proper place, you're going to start a small sequence where walker zombies will try to come to the skull. Make sure to defend the skulls from the walker zombies, and once you're done with that, the skull will be cleansed. Bring it back to the original spot and repeat this process 3 more times. Once you do this process with all 4 skulls, this tree will actually move up and you can go down to collect the skull of Nan Sapwe, but not before doing a lockdown ritual with a bunch of keepers. Once you kill enough keepers, the lockdown will end and you will be able to grab the skull of Nan Sapwe. Now what you need to do is go to the purple water area, and you are going to whip out your skull and use the alternate fire on this ripped page, and it should restore the page. Then you are going to run up where I do, back to the main entrance where you're going to alt fire on this little door right here, and it should open up for you. If you don't know how to build a gas mask, make sure to follow this quick tutorial, as you are going to need it. If you don't know where all the shield parts are, make sure to follow this tutorial, as you are going to need the shield in this map. Now you're going to have to build the KT4. For the first step, you're going to have to go to Lab A and lower this cage. Drop down and then lure a spider zombie into this cage. Then interact with the panel again to bring the cage back up and extract some spider serum, and that is the first part for the KT4. The second part can be found by going back into the deep water tunnel and then going all the way down to the blue tunnel until you see this little plant. You're going to pick this up and then resurface. For the last part, you're going to want to be around the green water area. One zombie will have a green glow on his hips. Killing this zombie will give you the last part to the KT4. Go back to the underground lab where you will see this table on the left, interact with it, and shortly after it will give you the KT4. Now you're going to have to upgrade the KT4. First, take the sewer that goes to the green lab area. Pay attention to the colors of the water. As you see, it starts with green, then it goes to blue, then it will go to green again, and then it will go to blue. On the second time it goes from blue to green, you are going to interact close to that 115 meter you just saw, and you should get the rainbow water. If you didn't understand that, just understand that it starts with green water, and then it goes to blue water, goes to green water again, goes to blue water again, and then at the point where the second blue water ends and the third green water begins, you are going to hold your interact button and you should get the rainbow water. Come back to the deep blue part where you picked up the plant and interact with this wall with the skull of Nan Sapwe. Plant a seed and then use the rainbow water on that seed. Now you're going to have to water that seed with rainbow water, specifically 3 rounds in a row. So make sure not to forget about this seed. By doing this correctly, you can go back on the 4th round and pick up this new plant that you're going to use for the KT4 upgrade. When you're done with that step, or better yet, while you're doing that step, use the KT4 to melt this cobweb and then slide down to do the spider mini boss fight. All you have to do for this boss is shoot its mouth while it's vomiting until it dies and try to avoid its attacks as best as possible. When it does die, make sure to go up to the boss and pick up its tooth. And if you're at perk limit with no perkaholic, make sure to come over here to grab a free widow's wine in this purple water. For the third part, you're going to have to get all of your challenges done. If you are playing co-op, each and every single player needs to have all their challenges done. When this happens, eventually lightning will strike the area where the challenges are. The lightning will linger for a few seconds, and whipping out your shield in this lightning will electrify your shield. Go to lab B, melee the switch, and then walk inside of the cage yourself. If you are playing with 2 or more people, one person will have to go in the cage and the other will have to purchase the switch. When you're dropped into the blue area, you're going to have to find a zombie with a vial in its rib cage, pick that up, and then wait to get pulled back up to the lab. Go back to the underground laboratory and put your KT4 into the middle table, and after a few seconds it will actually give you the KT4 upgrade, the Masamune. Now we're going to have to find 3 cogs around the map. For the first one, you need the anywhere but here gobblegum, otherwise you literally cannot do this Easter egg. Come over to where I do to pick up this cog. For the second cog, go to lab A with the electrified shield, melee the switch with your shield, and then ride the zip line. You're going to melee once you're above the docks, and you're going to drop perfectly on the docks, grabbing that second cog. On co-op, one person rides the zip line regularly while someone with the electrified shield stays behind and melees the switch when the person riding the zip line is above the docks. While you're doing those 2 parts, you can actually do your third at the same time by placing down a plant and then using blue water to moisturize it, and then shooting your Masamune shot at the plant. And you're going to do this for 3 rounds in a row, and I recommend you do it with multiple plants as the part you need is not guaranteed. Once 3 rounds have passed, open your pod, and the part you're looking for is an artillery shell. Go to the artillery gun and wait for a plane to hover over the air that you can shoot. You're going to crouch and then interact twice to load and shoot the gun. The plane will explode and then it will drop the cog slowly out of the air. You are going to look for where the cog is going to land and go and grab it. My location was in front of this little poster in lab A. It also has a chance to spawn right outside of the bunker, and then it has a chance to spawn next to the green water at lab B. Place the 3 cogs back here, and at this point you are ready for the boss fight. Once you head down the elevator, this is the point of no return. Most recommended gobblegum is near death experience, as if you down, you literally cannot fail the boss fight. Once you're outside of the elevator, you're going to shoot your Masamune at the spores on these logs to make them go away, and this is actually exactly how the boss fight works. Shoot the first spore with the Masamune to begin the boss fight, and then you're going to have to shoot 3 more spores that will occasionally come out. Use your wonder weapon and your skull to your advantage in this fight. Thrashers will spawn a lot, so shotguns will help a lot on this map, especially the Brecci and the Haymaker. Once again, make sure you're watching for the branches to shoot with the Masamune, and once you shoot your 4th spore branch, congratulations, you have beaten the Zetsubou no Shima Easter egg. Make sure to like and subscribe for more Easter egg tutorials, and I'll see you guys later.